So I'm currently in the process of leaving my parents' house and moving into this tiny new apartment. And it's actually the first time in my life that I will be living on my own, which kind of feels like a major life event, it feels like a new chapter, a new milestone. So I have spent quite a lot of time reflecting in these past couple of days, and I've actually realized something that made me a bit sad, and that's what this video is going to be about. To tell you the truth, these past few years I've just been feeling like I wasn't really going anywhere, not really doing anything. Pretty much every single day felt like it was exactly the same as the day before, and I just felt stuck. But what I've now realized is that it honestly only felt like it. In reality, it wasn't like that at all. The thing is, I kept thinking about all these great objectives that I have to reach in order to feel like I did something, and I was completely ignorant of all the things that were actually happening in my life at that time. I felt like a failure for not really making any money or not being where I would like to be creatively, but I was a child, and it just wasn't the right time to give myself the goals that I did. Somehow, I think a lot of people have this tendency to ignore the present and instead get hung up on what might come in the future. And of course, it's not entirely a bad thing to look ahead sometimes, give yourself some clarity in terms of where you want to end up one day, but life should be lived in the present moment, not spend daydreaming about things that might not come until way down the line or not at all. Right now, when I reached one of the main goals that I gave myself a couple of years ago, which was to make enough money so that I can pay for my own apartment here in Prague, I do feel like I accomplished something, and I'm right to think that, but it still doesn't justify the fact that ever since I was like 15, I was sitting in my childhood room, upset with myself that I wasn't making enough money to live elsewhere. And when I left, I realized very quickly that I should have appreciated that time in my life much more. Overall, I feel like I would be a much happier kid if I gave myself credit for the things I was doing, or if I even registered them at all. And I'm sure this is the case with so many of you, to be honest. I'm basically certain that all of you are doing things that are impressive to everyone else and are things to be proud of, but you don't really even think about them because maybe you're stuck in your head about something even bigger and better. And again, to an extent that's fine, that's normal, but you might be wasting years of your life chasing something only to realize that what you had already was pretty great too. There's honestly a bunch of things that I wish I gave myself more credit for. I taught myself to be very good with cameras, for example. I picked up a hobby, I stuck with it for like 8 years now, I watched a lot of YouTube videos on the topic, I took tens of thousands of photos, and now I'm pretty good at it. And I rarely ever felt proud of that, but I should have. I kept being upset when I saw a photograph of some world-renowned photographer and I realized that it's better than my work, but that person has probably been doing it for decades. And the fact that there are some people in the world who are objectively better photographers than me doesn't mean that I shouldn't feel accomplished for all the stuff that I learned up to this point. I should have seen that I was truly doing something great for myself by just picking up that camera every now and then and just taking a couple of pictures. The current situation isn't that much different actually. I have reached the big goal that I wanted to reach, which was to move, but the second that I got here, I already thought of another big goal for myself, one that will probably take me a few years to reach. And again, that's fine, only this time I must do a better job of realizing that life isn't as simple as just constantly moving from one level to another. There is a lot of stuff in between, small everyday things that I should be grateful for and proud of. I should take in the fact that I already got reasonably far from where I started, and just because I haven't yet accomplished everything that my brain decided that I should for whatever reason accomplish, it doesn't mean that I haven't already done a lot up to this point. One of my goals is quite honestly to make this YouTube thing work, and yeah, I'm definitely not there yet. I get 20 views on my videos and I have 71 subscribers, which isn't exactly what you would call a successful YouTube channel. So it will take me some time to get where I want to be, but the fact that 70 people already watched my videos, thought they were kinda decent, and that if I ever make another one they would like to know about it, that's already crazy. I should be proud of that. I often ask my girlfriend if she's proud of herself, because she is going to a pretty tough university and she is doing really well actually. So I always tell her how proud of her I am when she passes an exam or just gets through another day at school. And sometimes I'll also tell her that I hope that she is proud of herself, to which she usually responds something like, I don't know, not really. But she should be, she's doing a great thing. But I'm afraid she actually isn't that special in this way. I feel like people in general just often fail to give themselves the credit that they deserve. And, you know, social media kinda does this to all of us, I think. It confronts us with all these perfect and expensive lifestyles and makes us feel a bit like failures sometimes for not having all of that. But maybe we should just do a better job of realizing that we are all living our own unique lives, writing our own unique stories, and we shouldn't try to skip a couple of chapters just to get to the exciting stuff. We should appreciate what we are doing right now because we are all doing something. And if we do decide it's time to do more, we shouldn't focus too much on the potential end goal. Instead, I feel like we should be more proud of the process itself. Yeah, I don't know, I just felt like talking about this.